its ups and downs, turn your pretty face to an ugly frown. Seems that when I fix one thing,
Hello, welcome to The Awakening. I hope you enjoy the next 30 minutes as much as I'm going to enjoy doing this show. Today's show is we're going to be talking about dogs. And I got a great trainer sitting here, and he's going to give me his 30 minutes, and hopefully you'll be able to get enough information. And if you need a dog trainer, give him a call. Welcome, Steve,
Nice
to The Awakening. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Should we tell our viewers how I met you?
Yeah.
Strange. And that's not a strange bedroom, okay? No, but I was going through my briefcase, which I do quite often, and the picture of your dog and you on the cover, that was you. And I called you right away.
Yeah, now returned your call.
Yeah, but how did you feel about that? How in the heck did she find that picture and blah, blah, blah? Because I'm nosy.
Well, not really, because I get so many phone calls during the week from from my website or from word of mouth or whatever, so it's not really unusual, but it was unusual that I couldn't figure out where I met you. So.
We met someplace
That's
in order
right.
to get that card. I
Absolutely.
can't figure it out.
But anyway, fate.
It's fate. You're due to be here. Okay, first of all, why did you choose this as I call it a gift. You have a gift that probably a whole hell of a lot of people don't have.
Well, it was a slow gift acquiring, but anyway, when I was...
Look, all good things take time.
Yeah, when I was a decent football player in high school, and then I had hurt my knee, and a friend of mine became a canine cop in Springfield, Tennessee, north of Nashville, and he called me up one day and said, "You got to come give my dog a bite." And
Come give your dog a bite?
a bite, and I had no idea what he was talking about. So, and that was back in 1979, and here it is now, and that was a long time ago, 33 years, and that's where it started. And I like the physical interaction with the dogs, and it's been a long process. And for the first 12 or 13 years, I was sort of a slow learner because I really take pride in what I do, that it's right.
I do too. If you can't do it right, don't do it at
Absolutely.
all. Don't touch it.
So many people today that even the people I try to teach want instant gratification, and it just doesn't happen in this. So
No, it does. You have to earn that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
in anything, but especially in this.
In this, yes, you do. How long does it take you to train a dog?
Depends
Well,
on
first
the
of all,
dog.
give me tell me some of the dogs, bad dogs, good dogs, whatever. What do they do?
I'm partial to German Shepherds.
Oh my God.
That's
Do they listen better?
generally for me. That I've worked with many different breeds, and to me, they might not be best at anything, but second best at everything. They're very versatile and can do. They can be a family dog and yet a family protector, and yet gentle but protective. I mean, they're just overall a very good dog. But there's lots of good breeds. So.
Well, I'll tell you a little story about what happened with me one time. This is worse for me. I was in the bathtub, and my 7-year-old, who was supposed to not open the door to anybody, opened the door. But luckily, I had my Doberman Pinscher. She was in the kitchen all stretched out. And as soon as that door opened and my daughter came running, "Mama, here's a salesman wants to talk to you." I said, "Charity, I am in the bathtub. I can't get out." "Why did you do this?" "Well, he can wait till you get done." So I threw a robe on and I started out the door. My dog charged the front room. He knew I was coming out. I guess they have a, what do you call it, second sense about this kind of stuff. But as soon as he saw this man, that guy couldn't get out that door fast enough. He flew out.
Well, actually, the dogs, whether they're Doberman, Shepherds, Malinois,
Yeah, Doberman
Rottweilers,
Pinschers.
right? But all those breeds that are bred to be protective, if you just treat them right and take care of them, they'll be protective without training at all. I mean, if you take care of them, absolutely.
They'll take care of you.
99% of them will that are bred right. So they
Does
don't
the dog
require any
sense
training.
that maybe that guy was going to do something to hurt you?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. One of my favorite sayings are, "Dogs don't lie."
It's true.
So,
That's true.
right.
But she never did that again. And she says, see, Mom, I told you wouldn't get hurt.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so how long, let me see here. We're talking about, what is the first thing when you get a dog, if you get a phone call and say, my dog is doing this and doing that, doing this and doing that, what do? You go to visit the person along with the dog? I'm sure you have to do that.
I try to, well, first of all, I have to have the dog come visit me or me go visit the dog, and I have to evaluate the dog because not everybody articulates over the phone exactly what's going on. I mean, they do it to the best of their ability, but it's not always the case. And the other thing is I will try to help people over the phone. Even I don't do much pet stuff. Mine are more precise training that I do, but if I have a friend of a friend that needs something done with a pet, then I will, I'll give them advice. And the hardest thing with most people is just following the advice because they're willing to call and to see what to do, but they're not always willing to take action with what to do. And generally something as simple as, well, I left my dog out and it tore up the house. Well, put it in a crate while you're gone. And they said, well, we can't do that. And I said, well, why are you calling me? So, because it no more than you would leave your 1 or 2 year old kid alone at home.
With a
with
pot cooking
right.
on the
Well,
stove.
thank you.
Yeah, a pot.
But yet dogs are supposed to be different, and it amuses me that people think that. But so much of it is common sense that it really. I always say you can't get hit by the train if you don't get on the track. So.
That's true. That's true. And it doesn't. Why aren't you out in the open anymore now? You just said you'd slow down on it or just talk. What do you mean? You're going to give this up?
No, not at all. But what I do is a lot more challenging to me as far as training goes. Schutzen training.
Yeah, Schutzen. That's quite a
right.
name. Is it German?
Yes. It's
Okay.
German for protection dog, but it actually involves 3 phases: tracking, obedience, and protection. There's competitions all over the United States and all over Europe. And I'm like a coach for the competitors in that, and I
A trainer
get them where
then.
they're going. Yes.
Do you train the people to?
Absolutely.
And then you can just walk away.
Yes.
That's good. And you get
But
paid good for that?
Yeah, I do all right.
Okay. I don't want to know, just a little, okay? But if you can do that and enjoy it, that's good.
I love it.
How long does it take you to converse with another person on how to make that dog better? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months?
Oh my goodness! Well, they started. I started coming to this area in 2006, and they were flying me here from Chicago every other weekend. And then it got to be 3 years that I was in the airport every weekend at O'Hara, and that's no fun to be there once a month, much less every weekend. And so they made me an offer to come here, and I moved to this area. I never heard of Bowie.
Neither had I.
No. But anyway, so I came here, and we have a training group that's called the Tri-City Schützenverein.
The
and it-
Tri-City?
Tri-City
Tri-City
Schützenverein,
Schutzen.
which is club.
Okay,
And
okay. So they
we
can
meet-
join, people can join with you?
well, it's sort of like a country club. If they meet the criteria and they're willing to do it, because it's
What's
not
the criteria?
that one can listen, and you it's very, it takes very much discipline as a person and with the dog, and you have to be willing to, there's a lot of sacrifice in it as far as it takes a lot of time to do it right. And I'm not a babysitter, I'm a coach. And I will help the person get where they're going, but I'm not going to do it for them.
Yeah.
And that's one reason I like this area. There's self-starters here. I've been all over the States, and this area is one of the best about people that are driven. And I
Yeah.
like that. So
That's good, that's good. And you take, I guess as many dogs are different.
yes.
So maybe one dog would take, 2 months?
Oh, no.
Or-
I'll put it like this. One of the dogs that started with me as a puppy just now got its Schutzen 2, which is like a master's degree. The Schutzen
Really?
1
What's
is
what
like
Schutzen 1?
Schutzen 1 is like a BA degree, and then the Schutzen 3 is like the PhD. So,
Well, that's good.
so but I
Do you
mean,
give
anyway,
the dog
it's,
treats to make them good?
well, it's, you absolutely you absolutely, whether it's balls or food
Doggy
or
bone or something like that?
well, not necessarily a doggy bone, but anyway, you manipulate them to get the action you want. So
Okay, so if I had a dog and I came to you, okay, and it did something, it did it right, and you gave it a snack, would that dog proceed to think every time I do that, I'm going to get a snack?
Only if you did it every time
Every
it did
time. It's like spoiling a child, right? If a child
Absolute-
does something good,
but
you give him a
have
treat.
to be consistent. And when he does it wrong, the other thing is if a dog, in what I do, in what we do, it's very important that it's precise. I mean, in the pet world, a sit, whether it's over here or over there, it has to be directly beside me every time I stop. It has to be heel beside me as I'm moving. It has to sit automatically. If it doesn't do that, then there's point deduction. And
You
if
keep a chart then.
oh, well, the judge does when they're doing the trial. So,
What's that?
well, you start with 100 points, and then tracking and obedience, you have to have at least 70 points to pass.
Okay.
And so you're deducted. You start
It's like
with
going to
100.
school as a
pretty
report
much.
card.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
And in protection the same way, except it has to be 80 to progress on to the next. You can pass with 70, but you have to do Schützen-1 or whatever you are over again. You have to get 80
that's
and pronounce.
cool. Dogs have to take a test.
Oh yeah, but actually dogs lose points by their handlers making mistakes too. So
Okay. So,
So
what do you
it's-
do to the handlers?
well,
Get rid of them, huh?
no, we just that's I'll take the sword on that because the people that work with me I have prepared before they go to battle. So they've in the last month we've had like 8 dogs titled in the last month in 2 different events. So that's pretty.
Well, that's good. Did
that's
they
great.
both win, I hope?
One won high in trial in North Carolina, not on its home field, and the rest of them got their titles. So
Right. One question, are the little itsy bitsy puppies like this, can you train even like a little, what's the smallest dog? Trying to think, I don't know, I'm not a dog person.
Chihuahua, Pomeranian,
Chihuahua?
whatever.
You don't like Chihuahuas?
They're
I
not
saw that look in
something.
your
There's
face.
not something I really deal with. No.
You don't deal with the baby ones, huh?
No, I deal with puppies, and we start the foundation laying for
Okay,
the
puppies, how
training
young?
with puppies.
16 weeks?
4 months to 6 months. That's
Hey,
when
I
I like
said
to start.
16.
You were
just-
close.
I was right,
right
on
on.
the button. Okay.
You should be a dog trainer.
The dog trainer. Can you see me with makeup and high heel shoes and everything
Oh, I
after
see it
training
all
a
the time.
dog?
Yep, had a couple ex-girlfriends that did that. So
Oh, good. Okay, so you're not married.
no,
You can't train a woman then, huh?
I haven't figured that one out yet.
I'm just pulling your leg.
No.
Okay. So you've been doing this, what, 25, 30?
Since
40 years?
'79, I think
Since
that's like
79?
33 years if my math.
33 years. What do you do for fun with a dog?
Play ball.
Let
with
me
it.
go back. Let me go back a minute. Okay, you're training a dog, okay, and the dog is listening to you.
Right.
What happens when somebody walks into the room and the dog just goes like that? Aren't they supposed to say, sit, and they sit? And
No.
No,
How many bosses do you have?
none.
Well, okay.
Just myself.
Okay, so there you go. You just answered your question.
Come on, play that back over.
Well,
But a dog
You-
is
you don't
different than me.
need-
I don't jump on people or bite
no,
them.
no, but again, the boss should
The
be
boss.
the person that owns the dog, that is their dog. And lots of times when there's problems, when I go into a friend of a friend that has a pet problem, I walk in the house and the first thing, you got the dynamics of this family. There's 5 people telling the dog 5 different things to do, and the dog's going,
That's like a child.
yes. So they need one person, just like in any job when I had a regular job, besides doing this, I had one boss above me. I didn't have 5 telling me what to do. So you need one boss. You don't need 5 people telling a dog what to do because it's confusion.
So that makes you want to go and do your own thing.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you know more than the boss.
Absolutely. And the dogs usually know more than their bosses.
Yeah. But you seem very dedicated to what you do.
Very much so. I enjoy it. It's not, to me, it's not like work.
No, that's what I think. It's about this coming to this show. This is not work. This is fun.
Well, the people connected to the dogs are probably the hardest thing most of the time because the dogs generally get it a lot quicker than the people do. But you've got like, when you're giving a reward or a correction, you've got like a half second. And if you miss the
A half a second?
a half second to reward that behavior or correct it. Or it's like when people used to come home and said, you know, their dog had an accident in the house and they put their dogs in that dog doesn't even know what you're doing. It's insanity. Or people want to train their dog to go on these pads in the house. You're teaching the dog to go to the bathroom in your house. It's, again, all that stuff is just craziness.
That's so ridiculous.
It is. But again, this pet, everything's catered to the pet world now, and people believe that stuff, and it's pretty funny. So.
Yeah, they're even taken to beauty shops.
It's ridiculous.
They get their toenails painted. They get trimmed. They get nipped.
Oh,
it's
you're
just-
really trying to push my buttons.
I'm not trying to push your buttons.
No, I know,
but,
no, I know.
mean, what
No, you're
I
right.
see, because the dogs
it-
are really treated well.
What causes that? A demand. And when there's a demand, there's all types of people willing to do it. So, and the worst part in this area is that there is so much money available here that unfortunately that brings out sort of the trainers that aren't so good, and that's a huge problem because I do a lot of rebuilt engines of dogs that were so-called trained that,
Engines of dogs?
well, just figuratively speaking,
Okay.
I have to retrain the dogs.
Okay, so you got to make that dog over.
Yeah, because they were never made right to start with. But if people
Well,
don't,
anybody comes into the world aren't right to start with.
right.
We're all not all, come on, you know, I'm saying.
But unfortunately, in this area, again, there's so much expendable income that people don't really check out the people they're using, or they don't know the difference whether the dog is progressing, whether it's not, whether it's normal, and usually it's by luck if they get lucky and they have a good trainer, or by bad luck
That's one good thing. You should say it right now if you want to. Tell people if you're going to get a dog, please be sure you know where that dog
Absolutely.
came from, what kind of a litter. Have you kept the dog in the house? Do you let the dog run?
Well, it's not just that. It's
Well,
not
you're the
only
dog
that.
person. You tell me.
Well, the main thing is to you know the dynamics of your household, and you need to find a breed that fits that. If you're living in a flat in the city and you're on the 16th floor, don't get a German Shepherd because they
God,
need
no.
exercise.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you want to get one of the smaller dog, that's fine. But I mean, the other thing, I've gone to places that had these very small houses, and they said their dog's out of control. All it is bored and needs exercise. There isn't anything wrong with the dog, and yet these people are trying to put them on Prozac and everything else, and the dog just
I've
needs
heard
exercise.
that on
It's
TV.
insanity.
Or Valium, crumble up a Valium.
The dog just needs exercise. That's
just
all it
needs
is.
exercise.
That's it. It's real simple.
All right, what age level would you say a person should try to take this on? 60s, 70s, 80s?
Where they should cut it off? Or?
No, where they should. All right, say I'm 85 years old, which I'm not, and I decide I want to get me a dog. Do you say, well,
If you're
Angie,
85, I think you get a stuffed animal.
I'm just thinking, go out, what can I do if the dog starts? I mean, we had one. My husband just had to give it away, but the dog took over.
What
And that
breed
was-
was it?
Oh, I can't remember the name of the dog. What is it? I can't think right now. I can't think. But it was a huge dog. Stood like here. And all she wanted to do was love and would jump up and knock me flat down on the floor.
The main thing is you need structure and you need parameters from the start, and then life is easier. And a crate. A crate, if you don't.
Oh, a crate is like a big box because David
Right,
had one
and
of
they
those.
like their crates, and it's not cruel, it's not anything else. And then when you take the dog out, you exercise the dog, you play with the dog, but that's their place. They do not have to run the house loose. It's insanity.
But if you put the dog in the crate, should the door be left open?
No.
So
Absolutely not.
isn't that cruel, though?
Not at all. No. It's only cruel to the human's mind. The dogs love it. My dogs run to the crate because it's their space. And then when they're out, they're happy because they're looking forward to being with me. And that's the way we like to work. It's the same principle as if you're incarcerated. You see the guys there or the ladies are buff. It's because they take that hour they come out and they make use of it. It's the same with the dog. If a dog sits around on a couch all day, has 100 toys, when you want to go out and work with the dog, they're going to say, no, I get that all day. Why? It's like having lobster every day. Although that might not be bad for a
No,
while.
lobster's good.
Yeah.
It's even to keep you from being
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah.
So I was giving David hell all the time with that dog because he always kept her in the crate.
But that's
And
a
I
good
felt
thing.
that was
but the
mean
thing
and
is,
cruel.
But no, it's not. But the thing is, the only thing that would be mean and cruel is when you get the dog out of the crate that you don't do anything with her. That's when you need to do obedience. That's when you need to train the dog because that's when the dog wants to do something for you.
And the same
And
thing
if
the
she's
poor
jumping
dog,
on you, then she just wanted
yeah,
attention.
the dog could knock me down, literally
So
knock me down.
basically, when she got out of the crate, she should have been let out to exercise and then worked with in say, obedience, and then that behavioral problem would not have happened.
Okay,
It would have been minimized anyway.
it would have been minimized.
Right.
But the dog never listened. If she'd jump up on my sofa, and it was a leather sofa, and she had long toenails, And I'd say, no, Susie, don't do that. She'd just keep doing it and look at me.
Well, after you said no, Susie, and she did that, then what happened?
I leave the dog doing what she's doing. I don't want to hit it. I didn't want to hit the dog.
You don't have to hit the dog, but again, you can take the dog off the sofa, and again, it's dog training is very simple.
In
It's
order to
black
get
and
that
white.
big dog off that couch, I had to drag him. And can you imagine what those claws would do to my leather
But that's,
furniture?
and again, that's why you want to start at a very early age, laying the parameters and the rules of the house. And then when they get that large, it's like waiting to teach your kids manners till they're 16. I don't know. I had 4 kids. I don't think that would have worked for me.
You have 4 kids too, huh?
Absolutely.
Did they listen to you?
Oh, yes.
Well, David never gave her much attention. I mean, he would let her out too.
Well-
but she needed to be walked. She needed to run. And I thought she needed some freedom.
Well, that's the thing that most people don't understand. The initial cost of the dog is nothing. It's the time you have to put into it, the exercise. I mean, I think people really need to look into what it intakes getting a dog when they get one, because it's a lot more than.
It's a lot of work.
It's
It's
a
a
lot of
lot of
work.
work. And he didn't want to be bothered after he got the dog. You know what I'm saying? Flop back in his favorite chair in front of the
And he
television.
probably doesn't need a dog.
He did not need that dog.
Right.
He didn't. He really didn't
Because
need
it really
a
is
dog.
not the dog's fault. The
No,
problem.
it was David's fault.
Right.
It was David's fault. And the poor dog loved me so much. Because I was slipping at
You
all
seem like a
kinds
lovable person. That's all right.
of... Huh?
You seem like a lovable person. That's all right.
I try to be. But this dog, her name was Susie, I would slip her things in the box she was in. I would slip her cookies. Pieces of candy.
So you were the corrupter.
I guess I was. I was not a good mother. I was not a good mother to that dog because I let her have her way. But it's still, I think it's like you said, you've got to be ready. You've got to be willing. You've got to know what you want. You've got to have a
And
list.
investigate.
Well, that's what, be a cop almost. And I think if you're taking it from what about a pound? You can get a dog from a pound. Did you get any information on who had it or what was wrong with it or
Just like
anything?
you do from used car salesmen that tell you it was
Oh,
a
they
one
lie.
owner.
They lie.
Right. To me, if you're going to get a dog, and this is my opinion, it's not a popular one with a lot of the rescue people, but rescue means one thing: problem. And
Means what?
Problem.
A problem.
Right.
Oh.
And so when you start out with a problem, let's say it's a problem and it's a rescued shepherd or cane corso or Rottweiler, a dog that can be dangerous. And then I've probably had 7 or 8 dogs that had people aggression or dog aggression that were rescues.
Oh.
And they're from people that really, they didn't know what they got involved with, but they just wanted to, I think this country has become so PC that it just makes people
what
feel
does
good,
PC stand for?
politically correct. And I think they want to beat their chest and say, and this is my opinion, that they got a rescue because it makes them feel good.
Oh, yeah, they did a good deed.
Right, but in essence, I think you do a lot better deed to take a dog that is already good from a breeder that you've investigated, and start fresh. That you're not, because most people don't have the resources or the time or the knowledge to take a problem dog that's already. I mean, taking a shepherd or a Rottweiler or a dog like that already, that's a working dog. There's a lot that goes in with that if everything's good. But when you start behind the 8 ball, it's tough with a rescue dog that already has problems, and if the people aren't willing to deal with them, then they have basically a loaded gun laying around, and then we have problems.
Well, my dog, I just remember, he was a black lab.
Mm-hmm.
A black lab. Well, let me see what other questions do I want to ask you here. He didn't feed her on time. He didn't walk her. She had, she made messes in my house. So,
Well, you just answered that question.
okay, ma'am, this is a good question. I hope you got some good answers. What are wrong with? What are those dogs? Are real severe? What are those dogs? Not Rottweilers.
You're going to say
Pit bull. Yes, pit bulls.
Well, I'm going to tell you, and again,
Okay.
the pit bull is not that bad of a dog. And the thing
Oh,
is,
come
I have
on.
no. I have worked with them, and to me, with people, they're generally very docile.
Then why did they chew a baby's face off the other day? I saw it on TV.
Why is a baby
Took
near?
its
Wait a
ear.
minute. Why does a baby get shot with a gun? Where are the parents of this dog or of this baby? I'm not taking up for the dog, but I'm
I
just
hope
saying.
not, because it was a horrible
No, no, no,
thing
no.
to
That's
see.
no. But what I'm saying is, you asked me a question.
All right, I'm going
I've
to
dealt
shut up
with-
and let you answer
I've,
me.
I've worked with many pit bulls. They're not my breed of choice, but they get a bad rap because most
why
of them have
why are they not your breed of choice?
Because I want a dog that's more drivey, more willing to please. They're just not a dog that I do in my sport that's you see doing it much. I've seen maybe 3 or 4 in 30 years that did it, and those are not real good odds. So, but the thing, what I'm getting back with a
bull
pit
is not a
bull,
bad dog then.
any dog can be a bad dog if they have an irresponsible owner. And again, those dogs must be socialized, as any of those breeds that tend to be more aggressive. But if they are socialized correctly from the start,
And what you mean by socializing, put it in with people?
with people, absolutely. Out when they're young, we let people come around. That it's good, and they're not isolated from people. Because any dog, especially the working breeds that are isolated from people and just around their people, they become dangerous because they become very territorial and very. All dogs like that needs to be socialized.
What should happen to one of these dogs? I don't know what's going to happen to one where we bit the baby's face off, but I guess they're going to put him down.
I don't have a problem. I really would like to know the circumstances.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, I'm telling you what I saw, and,
But what
and I'm
was
trying
it?
to
Was this
figure
a family?
It was a family.
Was
Yes.
it their dog?
Yes.
Then this is my problem.
Okay, go ahead.
And I've had shepherds all my life.
Now, this is
Yet
about pit bulls.
I understand, but it's the same. I'm going where you want me to here.
All right,
I would
I'll shut
never I
up.
would never leave ever with a dog. Any dog is an animal. They're not people. I would never have left them with my grandkids ever alone, ever, not for a split second.
So,
Ever.
Why?
Because I'm sorry, they can turn on a dime, and
That's what
Yes.
I wanted
it's
you to
not,
say.
It's not, you cannot, I'm sorry, there's people and there are dogs. And dogs with grown-ups that are aware of what's going on. But let's say in one split second, a kid can grab a dog's tail. They can do something and the dog reacts. It's too late. I would never, ever, you do not, again.
That's for all dogs in your categories.
In all dogs, I would never leave them alone especially with a 2-year-old. That's negligence on the parent's part. I'm sorry. It's no more than letting them walk out in the street. It's negligence. That's my opinion.
We're going to walk out the street in a minute. The show's over.
Okay.
30 minutes have gone. I still have
Oh,
more
wow.
questions. Maybe I'll have you come back again.
Cool.
But I've really enjoyed
Okay.
having you here. And I really hope that all the viewers who watch this will take something from this. Okay, maybe you won't like it, maybe you'll love it. But whatever, until next time.